Hey, thought I'd give people a quick update on what's going on. Yesterday, I did a stream, and a very long time viewer named Chemical Chocobo. He sent me the $94 to pay the game off entirely. I think I had to pay like $1 out of my pocket, but he basically paid for the whole thing. Now, there are some really confusing things about it. You may remember I put up a video earlier in the summer, towards the end of the summer, early fall, where I mentioned that I had the physical version. So when he sent me the money and I paid for the game and I bought it off the eShop, for whatever reason, it tried to take over the physical version of the game. So I ended up deleting all traces of it and then I re-downloaded the game from the Japanese eShop. Now, what that did, the only difference I could see is that it says Koei Tecmo Games instead of Koei Tecmo America, and it also accepted the Japanese DLC. Now, I bought the DLC because I wasn't sure if it actually came with the Ultimate. I'm not sure if they're actually giving everything away with Ultimate, or they still expect you to buy that below average season pass, to put it nicely. So I went ahead and bought it, and it actually worked through the Japanese one. So it seems like I have the Japanese version. When I go to the right of the camp menu, it mentions that the game is. It mentions to go to the Taiwanese site. As you know, when they released Warriors Orochi 4 worldwide, internationally, whatever you want to call it, they actually patched the English text into the Japanese version. So if you're one of the early adopters who imported the game on PS4 or Switch, they actually patched in the English text. So even though this is the Japanese version, it's still in full English. Now, when I go to the eShop, it actually mentions that the Ultimate expansion is going to be in English too. However, I obviously cannot test that until it comes out. Obviously, the Rochi is not really a reading intensive series. I've already memorized the majority of the kanji. I know I'll be able to use my phone for anything that I can't, but it seems like it's going to be in English. Like if I go to the eShop here and I use my Japanese account, it says that I own the game. It actually apparently already downloaded the DLC, but you can't use it until it's unlocked. So what happens is when you buy Ultimate, it just gives you everything. It gives you the vanilla game too. Like they have the upgrade pack somewhere down here, but since on the Japanese version, I guess it just assumes that I didn't have it. Switch games are kind of weird. I don't know how many of you actually have a Switch or have done importing before, but there are some games that they literally won't let you buy them twice. Like if you buy a good example is Dragon Mark for Death. That game is basically identical in every region. What it does is it reads off whatever your Switch's system language is set to, and it will switch to that language provided that it's supported. So pretty much the major 7 or 8 languages. But there are some games like this where even though I had the game physically, it didn't count as another version. Like I have the Ninja Warriors once again. I have the physical version. Remember, I did the unboxing of that recently when I got it from Amazon. If I put that into my Switch, it would actually there would actually be 2 copies of it. I actually imported Cyber Delta as well. That would be the same thing too. But for whatever reason, this doesn't do that. So I assume that it will just be in English when Ultimate drops. I thought about waiting and just playing the game fresh with all the new features, but I think the story mode in this game is pretty bad. It's not as bad as like One Piece. It's not full of dumb gimmicks and stuff, and you don't have to babysit dumb AI. I think that's definitely an improvement over One Piece Pirate Warriors 3, but it's just jam packed of just scripted events and stuff. I think I'll just have more fun if I just plow through the game now. Obviously, I've beat. This is the third time we'll have finished this game, so I already know the broken characters and the treasures and stuff. I bought the DLC treasures to make some of the other characters actually playable instead of just complete trash. So I don't know if I'll actually record most of it. I mean, the frame rate is not ideal. It may improve. It definitely seems to hit 30 FPS far more often than it did when it launched. I wasn't able to find anybody who had actually covered the latest patch, and then when the game went on clearance physically at GameStop late in the summer, I actually was able to confirm that it is better. Who knows? Maybe they're going to make it better, but you guys have already seen me play through this game like multiple times. So the majority of it will be off stream. I am kind of getting bored of Critica. I'm getting very burnt out. The RNG has not been kind to me, and I don't really have the funds to whale on it. And I think it's better. I didn't have to whale on this. I was actually given the money for it just outright. But I think this was a better purchase overall than spending more money on Critica. I did check for Onichan Origin today, and it didn't get updated on either of the Southeast Asia PlayStation stores that I checked. So I assume that I won't be able to get that. If I do, it'll be when my ad revenue comes in on the 9th or 10th. I'll decide if I want to get it from PlayAsia. I need to see more footage first. I haven't seen any really good players like digging into the mechanics and stuff. I may wait until one of my other viewers, Vito, he said that he's going to be getting it soon, probably by the weekend. So maybe I'll wait for his impressions and I'll get that. I would not need to do a donation drive for that. I actually checked, and it would be about the same price as this with express shipping, which is $94. I'll be getting just about that much from ad revenue in a couple days. So I may decide to get that, but I hope you guys will understand. So if I click on Ultimate here, I know you guys can't read Japanese, but if you actually click on Orochi Ultimate, it says that it supports English. So I don't know what's going to happen. Their official Twitter, I don't really think responds to comments at all. So I guess it will. What I did to be safe is I just completely deleted every trace of my my English save file, and I'm playing on the Japanese one right now. I may just delete my English one. I was only a couple hours in. I basically just got this because a friend wanted to try the game out. They don't really have any Muso game experience, so that's probably what I'll do to be safe. I assume that what will happen is when they unlock the DLC, which will be in about 2 weeks on the 18th on Wednesday morning. That the game will just update. I have no clue. It's a very confusing course of events here. So I'll go ahead and play one level so there's some gameplay. I stand by my decision to get it on the Switch. Honestly, the frame rate is not much worse than the PS4 version. It's pretty damn bad on there too. At least this way I can actually make progress while I'm away from home or watching streams or on the bus or something. And I'm honestly probably not going to play this much once the PC version comes out anyway, for the better performance, maybe mods and stuff anyway, so kind of just get this content out, probably just play it casually, and then start on the PC version. I don't remember how long the story mode is. I remember it only took me like maybe 10 to 12 hours to finish, and obviously I have a much deeper understanding of the game, the broken characters and stuff, so it should go pretty quickly. I always liked how this game cut out a lot of the clutter. You don't really have to babysit anybody in this game. Like, the commander is very rarely in danger. That part of the game flows really well, just like all the cancels and stuff that you have. The problem is all the damn talking. They talk way too much in this game, and you're constantly stuck just staring at doors, waiting for them to shut up so you can progress. That's why I'm really looking forward to Infinite Mode. I think I'm gonna really enjoy that. It's weird how the PC port of this is like perfect, and the only console version that's good is the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. Frame rate seems worse now for whatever reason. I don't know why. I really hope they'll improve it. Pretty tired of games like this running poorly. That's why I'm very thankful that the PC port is quite good.
奴らの相手はお任せあれ。拙者の部で撃退せん。なかなかやるな。拙者も遅れは取れぬ。
貴様の相手、鬼神の娘が務める。覚悟しろ。
There's been talk about Nintendo adopting a mobile phone type, smartphone type refresh cycle with the Switch, meaning that they would update it every few years with better hardware, and then all the existing software would work. I really hope that happens. Basically, what that would mean is that every uncapped frame rate game would automatically run at 60 FPS, but stuff like this would need to be patched. I imagine a lot of indie developers would do it, but I think bigger developers like this probably wouldn't bother. I'm curious to see what will happen. I think the Switch is a great console, but a lot of people don't know how to make stuff for it, and it doesn't have good support for a lot of modern engines like Unreal Engine 4. Pretty much every Unreal Engine game I've played on Switch runs terribly. There's been rumors that maybe that hardware refreshed Switch will happen next year. I sure hope so. I kind of held off on getting the one with the better battery life. I had an opportunity to, but I'm not really traveling that much right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm sure the developers themselves want a better console too. The Switch isn't as bad as the Vita. The Vita definitely got way more games that it couldn't handle. A lot of this just comes down to optimization and the weak CPU. Astral Chain was a game I hated, but a lot of people agree it's too ambitious for the hardware it's on. The hardware couldn't really handle what it was trying to do, and the frame rate was a little bit worse than this.
知らせるわけにさ練り直した。
罠にかかってくれて嬉しいぜ。過去中堅が相手だ。ここで決める。
This is what I'm talking about here. They just keep blabbering on forever. A lot of people are upset that Infinite Mode is only going to be a few minutes. I think it'll actually be a better representation of how fun this game's engine can be. Because I was having a lot of fun just ripping through the map, and now I have to wait for them to tell their life story for the 15th time before anything actually happens. That's what makes replaying this game such a drag. One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 is held in such high regard, and that campaign is honestly a lot worse than this one, if you ask me. That, what is it called? Thriller Bark? That is like the worst Muso level I've ever played. It's just like, it never ends, it's full of gimmicks, it's got a maze, a giant boss that doesn't stagger to anything and comes back like 5 times. This game doesn't have anything that offensive, it's just kind of a buzzkill when you're going really fast and you can't do it anymore because the characters won't stop talking. So I'm interested to see what Infinite Mode is going to be like. I haven't seen much footage of it yet. Oh, that juicy 3 FPS. I love it. Seems like it's the particle effects that really tank it, and it also does that on, to be fair, it does that on the PC version too. Like, if you put a bunch of particle effects on the screen at once, it basically causes like full performance spikes where the game is not rendering frames at all. So, that can't really be held against the Switch port, even though this port is not the best. No, the only really great Switch port is probably Fire Emblem Warriors. Hyrule Warriors has a lot of problems that they never bothered to fix. Like, constantly running upscaled. I have to admit the frame rate does make me feel a little sick. The PS4 version did that too. I remember feeling a little bit nauseous playing that for extended periods of time. I think as I get older, I am like less and less able to play games with rapidly fluctuating frame rates. Or frame rates below 30.
私は一体どうすれば。
さて
見てて、乙女の子。力になりたい。
輝く鎧武者最善の結果だな
So basically, you just want to rush through this because you're not going to get any good crap on your weapons until towards the end, from what I remember. Alright, that's going to do it for me. Like I said, it's not terribly interesting to watch me play through the same campaign I've done twice already on other versions, and significantly worse frame rate and resolution. I will keep you guys posted if I find out anything about Ultimate. Like I said, everything points to it being in English, but I guess I won't know until it comes out. Or someone gets it imported or something and puts up a video early. It's only 2 weeks away, so I need to kind of haul ass and get this campaign mode done. I am still working my kitty sitting job, so I'll probably do the majority of it there. Streaming it, I don't really think is terribly interesting to watch. No agility, no elements on anything, none of my favorite characters for the most part. I don't really think it's terribly interesting content, so I'll probably do the majority of this off camera, but maybe after I'm done with other stuff, I'll switch to this for a little bit. The campaign in this is pretty short. I mean, one of the major complaints was that you can plow through it really quickly if you're even remotely decent at Muso games. The game in particular is not very challenging, and there's just nothing else to do after that. I'm glad that they're addressing those two issues. Infinite mode, like I said, I'm more interested in it than others because it's going to be a short, contained experience, which hopefully won't have any talking. I mean, the main problem with this game is just the pacing for me. The other stuff doesn't really bother me as much. It's just not having a whole lot of real avenues to enjoy the awesome combat system. I think this is one of the best Muso combat systems. I think the Sacred Treasure system is it's innovative but flawed. There's a lot of them are really bad, and you're really only limited to the two that your character is supposed to have. But they're going to be fixing that in the new version as well, so we'll see what happens. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. Also, thanks to everybody for supporting my fundraising streams. Thanks to Chemical Chocobo for hooking me up with the game in full. I was not expecting that to happen. Onichan Bara Origin, I will be able to pay for out of pocket. I have to decide if I actually want to do it, and I'll have to see if I can get it digitally for cheaper. I know for a fact that game is going to get localized, and they'll probably get a PC port, because Xseed does all the Onichan Bara games, and they pretty much port everything to PC now, so I think that would be the ideal platform for me, as always. But I'll make a decision next week. Thanks for watching.